Hey everybody, Dave Littlejohn here with another question of the week. And this week's question is, what is fee-based asset management? All right. So the interesting thing about fee-based is this is the next generation, if you will, for the way money is managed for investors. Traditionally speaking, things weren't fee-based. They were commission-based. So as you can imagine, let's use an example. I was going to buy something. Perhaps the value of that something was $10,000. Commission may have been something in the neighborhood of 4%. Well, you get the idea. That's a $400 transaction or commission charge for purchasing a $10,000 item. Well, the interesting thing about that is it created an inherent conflict. Because now you had to wonder, am I getting a recommendation to buy this thing because it generates $400 for the recommender? Or is it because it's really in my best interest? There was actually a term that was used back in the day for people that would just make new recommendations all the time. Buy the new thing, buy the new thing. It was called churning. In fact, it was something that was considered illegal. So things have started to evolve. We're not operating necessarily on commissions as frequently anymore. They still exist, and they're not necessarily an inherently evil thing, right? I mean, if you go buy a car, then you're going to pay somebody a commission because it's a one-time transaction. Makes more sense. But what about something that requires ongoing service? Well, it turns out investing really fits this mold well because the investment markets are constantly evolving. So if you want someone to continuously serve you, then we're seeing companies gravitate away from the concept of commissions to this fee-based concept. It works more like this. Imagine that if you had a $10,000 investment and you simply had a 1%, and I'm just using this for easy math's sake, it's all over the board, believe it or not, depending on what value proposition you're getting. You know, what are you paying for it? What are you getting? But in this case, 1%, you're saying, well, that's $100. And you think, well, that's lower than 400. That's pretty good, right? Well, yeah, except that this is 1% per year. Okay? So if you think about the first year and then the second year, you're paying again, and the third year, you're paying again. Well, eventually it would add up to more than the commission. So then you have to think to yourself, was it better off just paying the commission? And the answer is it depends on your holding period. In many cases, people may want to purchase a mutual fund and own it for the next 20 years. Pay the commission up front and get it over with. It's cheaper. But if you're going to be doing ongoing investment management, the fee-based process makes sense because 4 years from now, you may not own this position anymore. You may have something different that's more appropriate. Could be for tax reasons, it could be for cash flow reasons, or it could simply be that the market dynamic has changed and the money management process has produced new investment opportunities for you. Whatever the case, the difference is whether or not you're going to receive ongoing service. So the fee-based concept is really valuable if you're going to have that ongoing service relationship. Commissions are great if you're going to buy something and be done and over with it. All right? So that's kind of the nutshell of how fee-based works. Now, there's one other term you ought to understand. Not fee-based, but fee-only. Okay? Now, fee-only is a term that certain investment professionals will use if that's all they do. Only fee business. And it's important in the example, let me give you an example of our firm. Our firm is fee-based because our asset management process, investments, we use the fee-based process. But if you're doing something that is transactional in nature, let's say, for example, somebody needed to purchase life insurance, a product that is regulated by each state that you purchase it in. There are oftentimes commissions built into a term life insurance product. So if our firm were to write an insurance policy for a customer and receive the commission, we can't say we're fee only because we actually did receive a commission on the insurance. Are we going to resell them insurance every year? Certainly not. So is it the appropriate transaction? I would argue that it's okay. But is it that we're 100% fee only? No. So those are the terms you need to know. Fee only, fee-based, or the traditional commission model. All right, so there you have it if you've been wondering, right? And as always, if you've got other questions, you need clarification, you can hit us up in the comments, follow the various digital ways to reach us. They always put the icons there. And then you can call our phone, call the office at 541-375-0898. As always, thanks for tuning in. And until next time, this is David Littlejohn. Take her easy.